Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. His story is not just one of power and conquest, but of a profound transformation that touched the lives of all who knew him. Born into a world of opulence and excess, Umar's journey took an unexpected turn when he assumed the mantle of leadership. In a time when corruption and injustice were rampant, Umar stood as a beacon of righteousness, his unwavering character illuminating the darkest corners of society. Join us on a journey through the life of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, a tale of sacrifice, humility, and the enduring power of integrity. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz had come into power at a time when oppression was synonymous with kings. Before he became caliph, cheating, lying, and drinking were habitual and a ritual for the caliphate. The rulers would take the money of the people without their right. They would kill people just for the way they looked at them. It would have been all too easy for a man born into glitter and glamour to simply follow in the footsteps of his predecessors and continue in corruption. Instead, he sacrificed all luxuries to be the change that he wanted to see in the world. Upon becoming caliph, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz not only gave up all of his own wealth, but he asked the same of his wife, who was fully entitled to her own wealth. According to Ibn Kathir, the amount of gold given to Fatima, the wife of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, by her father on the day of her marriage was never seen before. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz told his wife that he had decided to live a life of hardship, a life where he would prefer the rights of others over himself. He gave her an ultimatum that if she chose to do the same, she could remain with him, but if she chose to continue to live in luxury, then he would have to part from her. Being a strong, pious woman, she wholeheartedly proclaimed that she would choose him over gold in the amount of the mountains of Makkah and Medina. It is narrated that once at the time of Eid, his wife requested him to take his salary 1 month in advance to buy his children some new clothes. They had been wearing the same old tattered clothing for some time, and she did not want them to be embarrassed in front of their relatives. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz went to his treasurer, asking for an extra month of allowance, to which his treasurer responded, "O Amir ul-Mu'mineen, can you guarantee me that you will live for 1 more month so that you might repay this wealth?" Umar ibn Abdul Aziz was unable to, and so he returned home. The day of Eid comes, and their relatives, officials, and various people come to visit, and the children are wearing shabby clothing. At the end of the day, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz approached his children with tears in his eyes, asking for their forgiveness that he could not provide for them. One of his eldest children, Abdul Malik, responds, "Oh, father, don't apologize. Today was one of the happiest days of our life. Never have we been able to hold our heads up higher than today. Today, we let the world know that our father, Amir ul-Mu'mineen, will never take even a dirham that is not his right. Our father only provides us with halal money." Imagine the ruler of all the Muslim lands living such an austere life. He did not even have enough money to go for Hajj. He would sometimes be late for Friday prayer, waiting for his only shirt to dry. He never abused Baytul Mal. In fact, if anyone wished to discuss any private affairs with him, he would put out the candles provided by the state and bring in his own candles. His wife testifies that at night, when most would be resting or spending time with their spouses, he would stand in prayer and cry in his du'as to Allah. This is what it looks like to be God-conscious. Under his rule, non-Muslims were converting in record numbers, and as a result, income to the state from poll taxes dwindled. He disregarded the money and said, "I would be too glad if all the non-Muslims embrace Islam, and we have to take up cultivation for earning our living." He had reformed the zeitgeist of the populace from his predecessor's time, when the topics of conversation would revolve around wealth, architecture, women, banquets, and other worldly affairs, to discussions of Allah, prayer, and other Islamic reminders. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz sums up his driving force best in his statement to a servant, "Allah has favored me with a disposition insatiable and ambitious. No sooner do I attain an object I long for, I set my heart upon a still higher objective. Now I have reached a sublimation, after which nothing remains to be coveted. Now my ambition aspires for paradise alone." In his youth, the world was at his fingertips. When people would tell him to live like the king that he was, he would recite the verse of Quran, "I fear, if I rebel against my Lord, the retribution of an awful day." firmly rooted in Deen, and had his reign been longer than a short 2 years and 5 months, one could imagine the lasting impacts on the world of Islam and history.